they are open-minded to listen and see, we can show the customer something different and better for this process.
Welcome to the Connected Shopfloor Podcast, where we explore real stories and big ideas that keep the factory floor buzzing.
Today's episode is a little bit different. We are looking at it from a more commercial perspective. How can we sell digital tools and automation systems to the industrial world, from small enterprises to huge corporations? And how do proof of concepts, POCs, play a big role in this sales process, but they might actually hurt the vendor when selling them, as you might invest more than what you're actually charging. So listen to João Rodrigues, who is currently managing 2 different businesses. I hope you like this episode. I'm Marco Chan, and this is the Connected Shopfloor Podcast. This is actually the first time we have a more commercial perspective here on our podcast. So let me start by asking you, when you walk into a factory or a warehouse for the first time, what's the first thing you notice that tells you, okay, this process could be improved?
So we look in general, but I have my focus on the where we can improve this process. If you can have a machine, an arm, or a robot, or something can improve this process.
And when you're trying to close that deal, who do you approach first?
It depends the state of the company, if they have some approach to technology or not.
So you might either go to the CEO or to the maintenance person responsible or the production supervisor.
It depends the dimension of the company, and some companies have more levels, but a small company, you talk directly with the owner.
It's very challenging to understand, why does it take companies longer to invest into solutions when the return is so clear?
Sometimes it's not very clear because they have a necessity of the paper. If you lose the paper, it's a chaos. Sometimes we try to put every process in a digital process. But in Portugal, you have a lot of the tendencies to maintain the paper.
I'm not sure if it's only in Portugal, but I know it's very hard to just leave the paper outside. But yeah, so when we look into this adopting new technologies, what do you think is the most common misconception that you hear? Something that people get wrong about digital transformation?
Sometimes the companies are focused, try to implement themselves technology and choose the technology, and we are specialized and don't do the mistakes that this customer have.
What role plays the trust? They trust your experience and all the years you have in, or they just want to see by themselves and you start with a small proof of concept?
If the customer don't trust in our company, propose to the customer, don't do anything with us. But every time we do the consulting of the process. Sometimes we do also the POC, the proof of concept. But customers have a lot of reticences.
What do you think is the main cause for that?
The mindset of the customers. This is the most difficult to change because we can prove with the proof of concept it results.
There are projects that don't work. There's a lot of investment, a lot of things that we change around, and you know that change in the production environment is hard, right?
Sometimes the customer decide important project based in the price. And if you are based in the price, not in the solution, a lot of times you have problems in the future.
So price is still king, right? Do you think that sometimes a POC, a proof of concept, that you're just working on a small workstation when you have so many different ones, and you're doing there a proof of concept, and sometimes it doesn't have the sufficient space and importance for it also to make a huge impact? So how do you manage POCs that you invest accordingly, but also have the proper impact? Because I imagine to POC, you don't charge that much because you're trying to gain the client, right? It's still part of the sales process. So how do you manage that?
Sometimes the POCs are more expensive than a real project, unit by unit, because if you see the all of project and divide them, it's less expensive. If you have developed some software or something, the cost for each one is equal to 10 or to 20, because you need to do one.
0 to 1 is more expensive than 1 to 10, right? And that's a hard part with POCs, right? Because you cannot charge the whole project or more than a project in one proof of concept, because you're trying to prove the concept before investing, test before invest. Are you investing and losing money on those POCs?
Sometimes we lose money in the box because we trust in the process, we trust in the POC, and we trust if the customer grow with this project.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that if I would be on the other side, what I would appreciate the most is exactly that part. Is, and if you're investing in my company, then you truly believe that it's going to prevail, the software or the product or the system you're selling to me. So I truly understand that. And I know that at the moment you're deep in the world of identification and mobility, from RFIDs and barcodes to wireless networks, voice speaking even, and vision systems. How do you see companies have the biggest impacts when adopting these type of technologies? What is the quick win and the big long-term win of such a system?
These tools are sufficient to get more gains in that processes, and you can put them not only in logistics but too in manufacturing or in sales or another processes, not only exclusively in the logistics or in manufacturing.
Ah, that's interesting. I always related it more to logistics, internal logistics, outside supply chain. But do you have any example of a project that you can share with us that you saw immediately, like massive returns by implementing an identification system?
Yes, in a big customer of the retail, we put the RFID in the logistics, but they improve also the accountant because the processes of invoice are improved too. After that, the customer talk with us to put them in suppliers, and every communications are by EDI, and we can share all the documents by EDI and improve the visibility of the supply chain in every supplier.
That's really interesting. How long would that project take?
With the customer, we have about 2 3 years, but with the suppliers, only about 1 year, 1 year and a half.
Great. Now, to shake things up a little bit, I'd love to move to a segment which we call Press and Guess. And the idea is just to throw a few quick questions at you and you try to answer them as short as possible. Is that okay?
Okay.
When you look into like having more leads or better qualified leads, which one do you prefer?
Better qualified leads.
I understand that. If you have a lot of leads and they are not good. What closes more deals? Data or relationships?
Relationship.
Still nowadays?
The trusting of the persons, it's very important than the data sometimes.
I understand. But trust and relationship might be a little bit different, right? You might trust a company because of its references, and the relationship is actually getting to know João and knowing you personally and inviting you for dinner. Do you still think that that happens nowadays?
Yes, it happens. You know, in our case, you have a lot of lobby in some business.
Positive lobbying. So when a deal gets stuck, do you push harder or do you step away and wait?
Push harder. I'm a workaholic.
But you don't look at it, imagine an account, a project that you already have invested quite a bit of time. And you know the odds of closing that one are becoming slimmer and slimmer. If you keep on investing, then might it not be just a bad investment?
No, it's controlled. So sometimes we push harder, and if you still push harder, you stay in the same. So you need to change something to improve and change that.
That's exactly the problem that I see sometimes. We know that we were able to win a new account because we pushed hard and we prevailed and we showed how dedicated we are. But other times we are just digging a bigger and bigger hole because the project will never happen and we are just pushing hard because we believe that's the right way to do. It's a hard one, right? So next one. What works best for you? Email, phone call, or face to face?
Face to face, I think it's better because you see the expression of the person, and you can get more information about the other side. I think it's better for me.
I understand that. And what's harder to change, a process or a customer's mindset?
process is better to change than the mindset of the customers.
Yeah, if you cannot change a process, mindset is of course harder. So would you rather work with a customer who knows exactly what they want, or one who's open to being challenged?
We prefer customers who are open to see everything, because sometimes customers think that need some solution, but they aren't the correct solution for this process. If they are open mind to listen and see, we can show the customer something different and better for this process.
I know, but sometimes when you have a customer that knows exactly what they want, they have all the requirements already written down, and you just need to implement. Is that also not more efficient from your side? You plan accordingly, you deliver it, and it's done.
Sometimes we have customers with a high level of knowledge, but we prefer the open-minded, because we can mold them to the technology, and adapt the process to the technology.
Thank you for listening. And let me just quickly thank today's sponsor, Progro, by asking you this. While listening to this podcast, do you know what is happening on a factory floor? With Progro, you get real time insights from your machines as if you were just talking to them. Download the free app and ask, what is happening with my factory? And a tailor made answer to your production needs will pop up immediately. Also, use our promo code POD1 and you'll get a free IoT device today. Let's step a little bit away from the machines and systems for a moment and get to know you a little bit better. You have quite a diverse career, from research to engineering to sales and now business leadership. Is it hard to transition from one to another one?
No, because if you love everything you do, if you put love in every challenge, you can do everything.
But from research to sales, how do you do that leap? It's completely different.
I'm a polyvalent, so I can do anything. If you put love in this role, I can do everything.
Did you learn by yourself, or did you have like mentors that really helped you grow and who you learned from?
We have a lot of persons who have inspired us, but I don't have a mentor. I have a lot of influences, not a mentor.
And when you're not working, what keeps you curious or recharged? I know you did ultra endurance races of 100 kilometers racing. Do you still do that?
At this time, less, because I have some problems, but I like to run in the nature. So running in the nature, you can do the both.
But 100 kilometers is a
Yeah.
lot to run. Marathon is like 42, so it's like two and a half marathons. How do you do that? How many hours does it take?
Less than 1 day.
So a whole day, a little bit less than.
The maximum is 23 hours for me, but the person who have done in 11 or 12
But what is harder, to manage a business or to do one of those races?
are very different. I think that are very important. The mindset, and don't lose, resist for every challenge.
Keep on pushing, right? So keep on pushing that sale, keep on pushing that work. But 22 hours in a row, I think it's a little bit hard to not give up. You're able to switch off during weekends and Sundays, or you're always there, like working, working, working?
It's not easy to disconnect from work. And so I don't keep pushing every day. When I do sports, I don't think in anything. I'm focused only in that.
I completely agree with you. Sports helps me also a lot to not think about anything else than what I'm doing at the moment, which is awesome. Now going a little bit here to the final section. And I know we talked about a lot about technology and industry, but there will be huge changes coming from automation and mobility to data and AI. And I know AI is now a huge factor. Are we heading towards fully autonomous operations?
Yes, I think it is possible in the future.
We had someone here on the pod, Oscar, that said you might have the best washing machine that there is, the best one, but you will need a human to take the clothes out and in. And there was an analogy that sometimes in production, there are so many different movements that are needed. To fully automate all of them is very hard. But when we look into robots coming out and more imitating our movements, and do you think that will be possible one day?
Yes, it will be possible, and we are near that point, but not for 1,000% of these cases. You can substitute some, but not to
Not
all.
100%, right? You talked initially about the mindset of people when buying these systems. When we have a hard time just selling a robotic arm or a traceability system, is the industry really ready for all of this technology that is coming up?
No, some customers are this mindset, but others see only the cost, not the improvement or the grow in the future. They are preoccupied only the point of today.
Out of 10 customers, how many do you think that are actually ready to go and start implementing all
Two,
of this technology?
only
Two?
two.
Okay. So the other eight are still far away. That's a little bit my question. We already have a lot of technology that is there, proven, that we are not adopting. There's, as you said in the beginning, we still have a lot of paper. There are more than enough systems to reduce a lot the paper that we have. And now this massive technology is coming up. Will adoption be limitation for the whole revolution that is coming?
Yes, it's a limitation. We have a lot of limitations, and the mindset is the first.
And that's something that you cannot change. Do you think it's changing a little bit with the new generations coming in?
The youngers are more open to do that, but don't have the whole of knowledge of the operations. And this is a problem. They are less prepared than the olders.
Yeah, I know that's always the challenge. What are your thoughts about AI? Do you see AI coming in to operations and helping? Are you already seeing successful case studies of that?
Yes, AI are present at this time in our life, and they improve many projects. And we have impact today in our life because everyone talks with the chat GPT and have answers.
Do you see other systems being implemented in factories besides chatbots?
Yeah. For example, in the manufacturing vision systems.
How a vision system would work in operations?
If you have a process of quality, they work better than the human eyes. You put this technology to see if this piece quality or not. This product have the label, the correct label or not. The label are in the right side or not. A lot of examples.
And in that particular one, when you look into return on investment, I know that those cameras are quite expensive, right? And then if you have 20 production lines and you buy 20 cameras, sometimes you need two per workstation. How do you calculate the return on investment? How do you do that?
Some cameras are very cheaper and some processes are very cheaper. We need to talk with the customer to see if they have the budget for this.
Where is the gain? What are they gaining?
The gaining, the artificial vision do the job better than a human.
So in this case, you were talking about defects, a product that is not okay. And you're talking about labeling. Is the bottle closed or not? Is it the right amount of liquid? So a lot of things that you can monitor there. Do you then calculate how many of those parts will be correctly detected and the impact that has on the final customer? Because you might be paying expensive bills if you ship product that is not okay. Is those the type of unit economics that you use in order to calculate your return on investment?
Yes, it depends from customer to customer, and if the customer knows how they lose at this time, and it depends to the cost to improve that process.
That's exactly the problem is it really depends from customer to customer how much the return can be. So when you're doing that proof of concept, do you tend to also spend time understanding exactly because some customers might not have that data available right away?
Yes, in a proof of concept, we try to show the customer how is the return of the investment. We have the cost of the project and the return of that.
So, and now when you look at someone who's young and starting their professional career that wants to follow a similar path, what advice do you give them?
Learn and learn and learn, because the persons today are very simple, searching on Google or ChatGPT or another, not thinking or not interesting in a view of all around.
Now information is available everywhere. So which kind of skills or mindset do you value the most when, for instance, hiring?
Resilient. I think if you are resilient, you can do everything.
How can you access that during like, an interview that you're doing? You're trying to hire someone. How can you access if they are resilient or not?
If you show how you are interested in that work, so if you show that, I think it's better than another that knows we need to do, but don't are very interested in that job or in anything. And this is a problem. Sometimes the persons don't have interest in anything.
Do you also look from a personal side, for instance, as yourself doing ultra marathon runs and races that shows some resilience, no?
Yeah, if you are a focused person, it's mindset, and if you have the focus, you are equal than me.
João, thank you very much for being a part of this podcast. It was really insightful to hear your thoughts, how the sales process is possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Join our Connected Shopfloor communities on LinkedIn and Reddit. And subscribe our channels.